Hey, what's up? Just want to thank you guys for watching our channel. Please hit that subscribe button.
They're obviously different players, but having now played both with Bron and AD, and then with Joker and Jamal, I'd say, in this past experience, are there similarities between them just being their teammate that you didn't really understand until you were around them every day?
Man, they just, I would say, high IQ players. They know how to control the game, getting their teammates involved, making their teammates better around them. I say that's the biggest similarity from both, like playing with both of them. Because I know playing with both, my career is jump sky high. So I tip my hat off to them guys for that. Just being professional in every aspect.
In my career, I played with Hall of Famers. I played with some unbelievable players. Unfortunately, whether I was on the team or not, I never played with a star player who also was the best player on the best team, right? There's now with Joker, there's 6 active guys that have done that, right? It's Kawhi, Steph, Giannis, KD, Bron, and Joker. That's it.
Yeah.
In terms of active players. And it's a unique group because they're all so different. And the one comparison that I think really rings true with me that I bring up all the time is Bron and Jokic. I always say they have a supercomputer in their brain, right? Like their processing speed on the basketball court, just as an observer, having not played with them, it seems like it works faster than everyone else on the court. How does that manifest itself for you? Like, what does that look like?
I about to say I can agree with that. It's like playing with both. It's things I've seen them do on the court. It was like, how did you even see that? Or like, how did you know that was going to be open? So, and Jokic he surprised me every day. As far as like the one-legged shots, like, man, them shots are crazy. But like just seeing him practice them is amazing. Like, because he practices them shots every day, and then just to see him make them in the game or even try them shots in the game, man, is amazing. And then Bron is just, he's been one of my idols growing up since I've like been wanting to be a part of the league. Just being able to play with him and win a championship with him was like amazing. He's like a top professional guy, So, and I learned a lot from him as far as like being a leader, and being like vocal to your teammates and how to do that. He helped me like, in that aspect a lot as well.
I was gonna say we were talking about some of the crazy shots. We talked with this with MPJ a couple weeks ago. Just about some of his sort of favorite Joker moments. You're now almost a year into this team being with him. Do you have any, it could be a game, it could be a finals game, it could be a random practice. Do you have any plays where you're like, yo, I cannot believe this dude just did that?
I would say them in games, them 3-point shots, like off the one leg, just them shits it just seems like they're not going in. But like I said earlier, like he practiced them shots, and when we see him take them in a game, it's just mind blowing.
This is something that is always intriguing to me because he doesn't participate. I would say he doesn't participate a lot in media. I mean, even if there are articles written about him, he's certainly not going to do a podcast. He doesn't really like to do, unless he's mandated by the NBA to do a sit-down interview or whatever. He'll go in there and do his press conference. I think he's hilarious, by the way. But I feel like a lot is unknown about him, right? The player, of course, we know who he is. And we've only had Michael Porter Jr. on in terms of guys that have been his teammate. Can you provide some insight into Nikola Jokic as a teammate, as a leader, as a jokester, locker? Like, what is he like off the court?
I would say off the court, like a big jokester, like silly type guy. like you said, like he doesn't talk a lot. So, but when he do talk, like his jokes are pretty funny. Um, but like leadership wise, he's not going to really say much. I feel like he showed it more on the court than anything. But when he do speaks, like we sit there and listen, because like he sees things that we don't see. So that's a big part of the game. But most of the time it's just his play on the court. Like, he's not really talking as much, but he's a pretty silly. He loves to dance.
He loves his dance. What does that mean?
He likes to dance is what I'm saying. Like when you got the music playing,
what type of music is he dancing to? Is he dancing to like Serbian hip hop or jazz?
I don't know what he's listening to, but I think it's Serbian type music because he has no moves though.
Well,
you've had to defend it in the past, but now that the season's done and so we're not giving away, like how the fuck are you supposed to defend that 2-man game? Because Jay and I talked about it a bunch and it just seemed like there were points in the playoffs where everybody knew it was coming and they were loading up to stop it and it didn't matter. And so you've been one of the better defensive players in the league for a long time. If that's you, if for whatever reason you were in Miami, like what would you have done to defend that differently?
Me tried my best to not let them get the ball, but that dynamic, any pick and roll with Jokic is pretty much hard because you have a center that can pretty much do anything on the court. So even if you take away, Maul, me, whoever it may be, Jokic is going to I feel like he throw the ball to him, he's going to score every time. Some of the shot he missed down there is like, oh, okay, we know you can make that. So, but it's pretty hard. For me, I just try to keep the pressure on as much as possible.
Did anyone in that playoff run? Did anybody, even if it was just for a game, was there any adjustment or anything where you felt like a team defended the 2-man action well? I thought in particular, the one thing that comes to mind, and maybe there's other examples, and you obviously lived it. The one thing that comes to mind was Jimmy in Game 2 of the Denver series, whether it was off the ball fighting through screens to get to the DHO or on the ball in the pick and roll. I just felt like he didn't allow a lot of separation at the screen, and then in terms of chasing into the DHO, there wasn't that separation. But outside of that example, I don't remember a time where I was like, oh, they did a really good job. Was there an example?
I feel like Game 2 was the only example. I feel like they had more pressure than than the rest of the game. So they was pushing us out to half court. We were starting our offense around 14 on the clock. So it was they had a lot more pressure than the rest of the games, the rest of the series, and that helped them out. It was a lot. We felt that pressure. So like you were saying, just being close to your man, not allowing them to touch the ball, make them work for it. I would say, tire them out. Then they make terrible passes or terrible shots. So that goes favors in the defense.